This is what happens when you don't put effort into your picks. You get a lot of them wrong, and I'm gonna get into that later in this video. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, and it's time for the review. I may be a little bit late on this. My bad, again, but still an amazing event. I'd still 2 days later love to recap it. Doesn't matter. Pereira versus Adesanya 2. In my opinion, I think the whole Pereira Adesanya, the whole saga, it's not even a trilogy. This the entire saga of this rivalry. I think it's got to be one of the best rivalries, if not the best rivalry in all of combat sports. I feel like, just so extensive, so much drama, history, knockouts, fights, championship. Two best middleweights on planet Earth, obviously right now, and it's just haven't really seen anything like this in a while. Can you guys hear that? It's raining outside. No, you can't. You can't. Alright. Yeah, let's just get straight into it. Starting from the bottom to the top. The first fight, opening fight. This is the one that I showed up. I got to watch all these fights, back in Miami. Back home now, by the way. Jacqueline Amorim versus Sam Hughes. So close. Amorim had so many submissions in. She had multiple. She had like at least 3 that I counted. I showed up kind of late to the first round, but she had a lot, man. She was so close to finishing Sam Hughes at multiple points in that round, but then tired herself out. And the second round, it was so clear. She was very, very tired. I thought she was probably maybe going to get finished. I thought it was very possible, but Sam Hughes pulled through, was able to survive so many deep submissions, so many very dangerous submissions. Pulled through, got the win there. Very good win as well, comeback win and everything. Gotta respect her for that. She also said in the post-fight interviews that her boyfriend had like $1,000 on her in betting, which not very good to say that publicly, but it is what it is again, Speaking of betting, Shailan Nurdenbeck versus Steve Garcia. Shailan Nurdenbeck, as you all know, he was involved. He wasn't involved, but he fought the guy who was involved in the whole James Cross betting scale. That almost got betting canceled. UFC betting canceled throughout the United States. So it wasn't Shailan's fault. So that's why he's able to fight tonight. And he was winning the first round, in my opinion. He was definitely I'm pretty sure it was kind of clear that he was winning the first round. He was getting the better of the exchange, getting the better shots in. Steve Garcia though got a wild finish. If y'all don't know how it happened, I didn't even know either at the start. It just kind of happened because I was watching the fight itself, not the screen, but just like them, in real time fight, and it was like, oh damn, what happened? He just kind of went down. Like, did I blink? Did I miss something? It was body shots. It was liver shots. Steve Garcia had lashed out like 4 or 5 really big liver shots throughout that entire 36-second round, and yeah, brutal, very, very brutal. And in that last exchange, there were like 3 really big ones. Like, that's about to put you down. I thought he was out cold or something, but it was just the pain from the body shots, And Steve Garcia, very good comeback win for him there. I think he probably had like some sort of staph infection or whatever that was on his chest there. But yeah, I don't know, man. But we're going to move on to Ignacio I forgot to discuss my picks. Yeah, that's 2 bad picks in a row, man. But Ignacio Bahamondes got me back with that one. Catchweight bout at 160 against Trey Ogden, stepping in on around a week's notice. Yeah, something like that, a week's notice. Heavy favorite, Ignacio Bahamondes, and he got it done by decision. 3 rounds, got it done for Chile. There were a lot of people in the crowd rooting for Ignacio for Chile, and he got it done for them there. Wasn't the most exciting fight, but at the end of the day, it was exactly what I needed to get my perfect pick, so I was happy there. It's a featured early prelim. It's okay if it's boring, honestly. So, Ignacio Bahamondes, he's had exciting fights in the past. This is just going to be one of those fights that's like, not very memorable, but it is what it is. Got the win in front of the Miami crowd. It's all good. Bahamondes gets the win there. Gets me our first perfect pick of the night. First pick of the night as well. But we're going to move on to the prelims now. You know what? Pretty much, right? Let me just tell you a little something. I knew something was wrong when the early prelims were done with. It was past 8 p.m., like Miami time, and Calvillo versus Lupe Godinez hadn't happened yet. I thought, oh, maybe they're late. But then as it was getting announced, I thought, oh, one of the prelims got canceled. But also, there was no service for me to check which fight actually did get canceled. So I had to scout for what's it called? Not really scout, but like I just had to wait for my connection to like actually get some service so I could see on the UFC website which fight got canceled, because I wasn't getting no notifications, no alerts, no nothing. I didn't know which fight got removed, no nothing like that. I don't even know at what point the fight got removed, but Carl Williams versus Chase Sherman got taken off, which is pretty sad. I was really looking forward to Carl Williams fighting, but apparently Chase Sherman had a medical issue. I haven't seen anybody at all talk about this. Nobody. No news source, not Marcel, ESPN, the UFC themselves. Nobody. I haven't heard, not even Chase Sherman or Carl Williams themselves. I've heard nothing about this cancellation. It just happened, and people just seem to roll with it. So I guess there you have it. But Cynthia Calvillo versus Lupi Godinez, these two both had really good walkout songs. I mean, very good walkout songs. This was like the best collective effort of walkout songs, in my opinion, of the entire card. You know, we had Lupi Godinez coming out to Marc Anthony and Cynthia Calvillo. I'm pretty sure she came out to J. Cole. So, yeah, fire. And the fight was pretty good, too. There was this one guy in the crowd that just kept screaming at the top of his lungs, like, "Let's go, Lupi! Let's go, Lupi!" And then when the result got called, a lot of people in the stands were like, "Oh, I don't know if she won that fight. You know, I don't think she won." And then this one guy, like pretty close to me, like screamed out, "The only reason Lupi won was because of that guy right there who kept screaming Lupi, Lupi." So I don't know, but all I know is that she got me another perfect pick, so I can't be too upset about that. This is one of those fights where I kind of turned my brain off and just kind of watched, you know, instead of like kind of like, oh, you know, she won this round and she won that round or whatever. But watching it, you know, with kind of my brain turned off, I did have the edge for Cynthia Calvillo, although I can't say much because I didn't really, you know, I wasn't in the right headspace at that moment. But Gerald Mearshart versus Joe Pyfer, man, Joe Pyfer, the hype is real. The hype is real. Had a very nice walkout song. Had a very nice octagon post-fight octagon interview. I like Joe Pyfer. He's a good guy. Gerald Mearshart though, just got clipped with a big shot. Then it got sent to the ground. Mearshart was out way before the fight got called, but it's only because Joe Pyfer was you know, he wasn't trying to like demolish Gerald Mearshart or anything like that. Gerald Mearshart had completely surrendered the fight already, and Joe Pyfer just kind of like, okay, the referee's not stepping in, I have to dish out these next couple shots. At least the way I saw it, referee stepped in. Pyfer first round knockout. He should have gotten the bonus. He asked for the bonus, and as someone who was rooting for Mearshart to win, Pyfer should have gotten the bonus, in my opinion. I really think he should have gotten the bonus. I don't know why he didn't get the bonus. The people who did get the bonus, you know, they deserved it for sure, but I think Joe Pyfer should have gotten it as well. But it is what it is. He was the slight favorite. Who would I have winning? I bet on my guy, Mearshart submission second round. Didn't happen. It's all good. We move. And we move to Michelle Waterson Gomez versus Luana Pinheiro. Watching the fight live, I forget which rounds each person won, but I did remember thinking Luana Pinheiro did win. I do think she won, but Michelle Waterson Gomez, there was an argument to be made for those rounds as well. But it is what it is. Luana Pinheiro from number 15 is going to rise up to the top 10 now, so that's a good win for her. Michelle Waterson Gomez is going to keep going, so it's going to be interesting to see where both of these people go next in their career. Split decision win. Luana Pinheiro gets it done, as she should have. And I had Waterson Gomez by decision. I was very close to getting that, but it is what it is. We move. Can you guys hear that? There's a motorcycle outside. You can slightly hear that, actually. Featured prelim. Arguably should have been on the main card. Chris Curtis was asking for it, and especially after this performance, this outcome, probably should have been. Chris Curtis versus Kelvin Gastelum. Fight of the night. And for a very good reason. Bilal Muhammad tweeted it out as the fight happened. There were 5 more fights left. He was already certain it was fight of the night. And I looking back at all the fights now, I agree for sure. This is definitely fight of the night. Definitely. People want to talk about like the total fight stats. You know how Chris Curtis clearly won the fight. Like Sean Strickland brought it up. Chris Curtis brought it up. I get it. Chris Curtis definitely like did better overall. But a lot of that just came in the first round. Kelvin Gastelum clearly won the rounds 2 and 3, in my opinion. Not very, very clearly, but it was evident that Kelvin Gastelum won rounds 2 and 3. He just did much more, was much more active, landed much more shots and bigger shots as well. First round was clearly for Curtis. Rounds 2 and 3 were clearly for Gastelum. You can look at the total overview of the fight, but if we want to look at round by round, Gastelum was the clear winner. Very clear winner. Also, very weird career for Chris Curtis. He can knock out Joaquin Buckley. He can knock out Brendan Allen, but he can't, beat Kelvin Gastelum or Jack Hermanson. Very weird career there, but, Gastelum, he's back, man. The post-fight interview as well was amazing. It was incredible. This was the only fight that I recorded all of it. Mainly because also my battery was about to die, so that was kind of the only fight that I would have been able to record, but Chris Curtis for Kelvin Gastelum, fight of the night. Very glad I got to record the entirety of the fight of the night. I got to record also. I got on tape. I got on video the Kelvin Gastelum post-fight interview. It was amazing. Incredible. His post-fight interview was absolutely... It was amazing. It was amazing. He talked mainly about, he has risen this weekend. He talked about how, I haven't spent this entire year and a half off vacationing. I struggle to be here every day. He said that, and it just resonated with the entire fans. With everybody in the crowd, and all the screams and everything. He deserved that moment. He deserved to let out all that anger, all that frustration. He got his win. He got his win tonight, and it was a very good win for him there. Very happy for him as well. But we're gonna move into the main card. Who do I have winning? I had Chris Curtis. Winning, but I can't help but feel for Gastelum. Truly, one last shot and he got it. He's gonna keep fighting. So it's gonna be very fun to see where he goes next. I think truly he should probably go for the Nassourdini Mava fight. Probably for a 3-rounder. I think he could probably win that fight as well. I think it's even as to who would win. But Kelvin Gastelum, who else would he fight? Truly, like Brendan Allen? Nah. Who else there at the top 15 would he fight? There's Chris Curtis, who he just beat. Darren Till is out. Who else? There's not really that. Andre Muniz? No, I don't want to see that fight really. Nassourdini Mava was probably the one to make. It was main event for a reason, for a fight night, so maybe. But Raul Rosas Jr. versus Christian Rodriguez, same kind of similar thing that we saw with Amarin versus Sam Hughes is what we saw with Raul Rosas Jr. versus Christian Rodriguez. Raul Rosas Jr. had around 2 or 3 really deep, really submissions where Christian Rodriguez was in pretty deep trouble. Powered through, and came back to pretty clearly win rounds 2 and 3. 29-28, very clearly on all 3 judges' scorecards. Christian Rodriguez got the win. They didn't try to rob him, which I think was very good. They didn't try to pull off no Patty Pimblets here. So, good on the judges. I think the judges got most of the fights right this time around. So, good on them there, truly. And Christian Rodriguez, he's a pretty big name at bantamweight now. We got to start looking at Christian Rodriguez now. That's one thing that's always good about prospects losing is that if they lose to some random guy that you don't know, that random guy that beat them is now a star, is now somebody to look at, and is now a prospect. So it just deepens the division and adds bigger names. And, now Rosas and Christian Rodriguez are people to look out for sure. And good win for Rodriguez there, truly. And who would I have winning? I had Rosas submission in the first round. Super close to getting this one and this one. Almost got this one as well. It's like, it is what it is. It is what it is, truly. And we're going to move on. Oh, yeah. Also, Donald Trump walking out. That was wild. The entire crowd went nuts, man. I missed the recording because I recorded it because my phone was on like really low battery. I recorded it on that Snapchat shit. I don't even know what to call it, but you just recorded it on Snapchat. I sent it to my Snapchat group chat. They all went crazy too, but I didn't get to save the video to my phone, so it's like, shit, I should probably ask them for that because it was just a crazy moment. I was not expecting that. I was shocked. I was very, very shocked, No matter political opinions, whatever, it was a very surprising moment. I was not expecting that at all, so very crazy there. Very, very wild stuff. We're going to move on to Kevin Holland versus Santiago Ponzinibbio, and Kevin Holland got it done. Rocked Ponzinibbio in the first round. I didn't even see what the punch was because I was watching, not the screen, so I didn't see what the shot was. I thought Ponzinibbio slipped, but everybody was saying like, "Oh, he rocked it." I was like, "What? No, he didn't." But watching back, it's like, "Yeah, he did." It's like a back fist, and then set him down, and won the first round pretty clearly. Won the second round, even though it was pretty uneventful, fairly uneventful fight. But then got the finish in the third round. Is what it is. Ponzinibbio, he just looked like he was out completely. I don't blame the ref for stopping it, especially considering his age, time off, even how his last fights have been going. He just looked like he was completely out, and he had to move. He had to just not sit there, head down, But it is what it is. I'm not in the ring. I can't really judge them. Like, a lot of people like to judge, like, oh, this guy's shit. This guy sucks. This guy should have done this, and that. When you're in the octagon, it's different. We can't talk shit about how they perform necessarily. There's some exceptions, obviously, but this is not really one of them. He had to act quickly, and he didn't act quickly. It happens. It is what it is. He was waving the finger out to everybody. Not the middle finger. He's just like maybe like no, that's not. I wasn't finished. I wasn't out. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Kevin Holland, this puts him top 20 for sure. This puts him top 20 at welterweight. This puts him. Ponzinibbio was ranked top 15 like less than a year ago. Michel Pereira took his spot, so that puts him like right next to guys like Li Jingliang, D-Rod, Danny Rodriguez, puts him next to a lot of those guys at welterweight. And with Masvidal retiring, we're going to get into that later, that's going to put another spot up there at the rankings for welterweight. I don't think Kevin Holland should take it. I think Li Jingliang should take it. Because D-Rod beat him, but he got robbed. So Jingliang should take number 15. Della Maddalena took the spot. Maybe he deserves. I think Della Maddalena is a really good prospect right now, so he deserves to be ranked. But Li Jingliang, at least he's getting his opportunity to come back. I think they shouldn't put Kevin Holland up there. Do not put Kevin Holland up there. I saw MMA Guru say that Jeff Neal should be next, and then I was like, hell no, what? That doesn't make any sense at all. But then he explained the backstory. These two have fought before. Kevin Holland knocked Jeff Neal out, so it's like maybe you want to get that fight back, and that's the fight to lure in another top 15 contender, because nobody else, if any other top 15 contenders after Kevin Holland are going to say, hell no, fuck no. This guy already had his opportunity. Hell no. No more fights for him. Jeff Neal, though, since Kevin Holland does have that knockout win over him, that might be the fight to make. That might be the fight that Jeff Neal takes, especially since Jeff Neal is kind of at the top, He did just lose. He's coming off of a loss, but fight of the night, knocked out Vicente Luque as well. Just very good wins there. He's top 10. So that may just be the fight for Kevin Holland to come back. Do I think he wins that? Probably not. I think Jeff Neal wins. But we're going to move on to the featured prelim between Rob, y'all must have forgotten, Font, and Adrian Yanez. Adrian Yanez a bit overhyped. I was sensing it. For sure I was sensing it. I really wanted to pick Rob Font just since the fight got announced, but it was like, okay, you know what? If I'm right along with everybody else, good for me. If I'm wrong along with everybody else, then no shame in that. Also, if I picked Rob Font and I got it wrong, it would have been pretty bad. Did no research on a lot of these fighters. I don't want to make excuses for myself, but I picked Adrian Yanez because everybody else picked him. True, honest statement. But Rob Font, crazy knockout. And I haven't talked about a lot of these picks. I picked Holland by decision. Even though I picked Yanez, I couldn't help but feel good for Rob Font. That was a wild, really good comeback win. And, bro, I was shocked. I was truly shocked. Rob Font put on a really good performance for the fans. Got performance of the night. He's one of two to get performance of the night. Very good performance there. I think right now he's got to be Puerto Rico's best fighter. Unless I'm missing somebody. He's got to be Puerto Rico's best fighter right now. Unless I'm forgetting about somebody with Puerto Rican ethnicity. Rob Font's got to be that guy, But, yeah, he keeps his spot in number 6 bantamweight for sure, man. And just what an impressive performance. Who does he fight next, honestly? Who does he fight next? Probably he could fight maybe the winner or the loser of Ricky Simon versus Song Yudong. Maybe. He could also fight, who's there? Umar Nurmagomedov? Nah. He just got a really good win. Don't do that to him, Maybe, who else is up there? God, I don't know. A lot of good fights you could put up there for him, though, regardless. Maybe Pedro Munoz. Maybe have they fought already? Maybe Pedro Muniz is the ones. Pedro Muniz is fighting. Who's he fighting? He's fighting someone. It's not Billy Quarantillo. That's a featherweight. Pedro Muniz is fighting someone. I forgot who he's fighting. Maybe the winner of that one, Rob Font, could fight. That's a good one too. But yeah, wild, very wild knockout. It was vicious too, first round and everything. It's a pretty back and forth fight up until that knockout as well. Rob Font got the knockout, but if you looked, he had a black eye. He had a pretty bad black eye, right at the bottom of his left eye. So Yanez still can deal out some hits, but Rob Font, it was just a very big step on the competition. Rob Font was the first ranked fighter that Adrian Yanez ever fought. Rob Font, it's just very big leap. I think Yanez, they should have given him someone else for sure. I think Rob Font was definitely a very big step up. It's not a fight that I wanted to see, just because I didn't think Yanez should have gotten up so quickly. And Rob Font, if he lost, I just would have felt so bad. But everything happened the way it should have happened, in my opinion. Rob Font gets a very good win for himself there. Yanez is still young. He's still got time to come back. This could be just, as he goes on, this could be just one of those knockouts that it doesn't define him in the future. Or in the future, it would be the present. This is going to be one of those things of the past. Maybe. Who knows? It could be like, when Aljamain Sterling got knocked out cold by Marlon Moraes. Hasn't lost since. Won the championship. It's just one of those things. Maybe. I always look at a lot of these prospects getting finished or getting knocked out. I always look at it as one of those speed bumps. Those Marlon Moraes flying knees against Aljamain Sterling. It's like that maybe this won't happen for a long time. Maybe this won't happen for a long, long time. Maybe this is just one of those fights. So I'm saying maybe, but also Rob Font, very good win there. Very impressive. Next fight, Gilbert Burns, Jorge Masvidal. Masvidal retired after this fight, and very sad. Really sad that I couldn't get to see him win in front of the Miami crowd, but at least I got to see his last fight. Out of 52 professional fights, I got to see the last one. I got to see him. He retired in front of his home crowd. Miami hadn't been there in 20 years. The only reason they were there was because of Jorge Masvidal. Retired in front of a crowd that cheered him on instead of booing him. So, if you saw the video that I took, I was just like screaming his name, Jorge Masvidal, Jorge Masvidal. It's like, Miami te ama, Jorge Masvidal. Legend, absolute legend. Even Drake posted on his story. He's like, wow, Jorge Masvidal, always be remembered. A lot of people want to talk shit. Talk your shit. It don't matter. Doesn't take away from the legacy of Jorge Masvidal. Very long career he's had in combat sports, not only professionally, but just his entire life. And, very heartfelt moment between him and his son as well. Just, sad to see him go, but Gilbert Burns, man. Gilbert Burns. Does he deserve the title shot? No. Who deserves it? Belal. Does Gilbert Burns deserve it more than Belal? No. Does Gilbert Burns deserve it more than Colby Covington? Yes. So, I don't know. I think the fight to make right now, it honestly should have been Edwards versus Belal and then Covington versus Burns. That's realistically what should have happened. But based on what we're seeing right now, okay. Edwards versus Covington. And then for a title eliminator, you get, for a number one contender spot, title eliminator, Belal versus Burns. And also, I better not see Gilbert Burns move above Belal in the rankings after this. Better not see that. I better not see that. Gilbert Burns has 0 top 10 wins currently. He's got 1 ranked win currently because Masvidal is going to be retired after this. Belal Muhammad has 3 top 10 wins. 3 top 10 wins. That's more than Burns, Covington, and Rakhmonov combined. And if you want to throw Jeff Neal into the mix, you can do that too. Bro, that's 2 to Belal's 3, right? Belal has more top 10 wins than Leon Edwards. It tells you who deserves the title shot next. Belal Muhammad. It's just, as long as you got a big mouth and people watch you because you just say outlandish, stupid shit, you get pay-per-views, but I don't know. Bilal Muhammad, I think it would have sold decently well, honestly. The trash talk between Edwards and Bilal, it would have been pretty good. It's gonna be good. They're gonna go back and forth. I trust me. It's not gonna be as good as Colby Covington, obviously. The trash talk at least, but Covington should have at least fought somebody else. Come on, Dana White. Come on, at least give the guy just one fight. If you want to give him a title shot so badly, okay, then make him fight fucking, I don't know, Vicente Luque. Just for one more fight in between that. At least one top 10 win, But I said, fight Bilal, fight Gilbert Burns, fight Shafkat, fight Hamzat, and then you get the title shot. But UFC just wants to fast track him to just yet another title shot. I truly hope Edwards beats Colby. I truly hope that happens because I don't want to see no more Colby Covington bullshit title shots holding up the division and shit like that for people that actually deserve the shot more, like Bilal Muhammad, to go to welterweight. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We move on to the main event. Another performance of the night. Israel Adesanya knocked out Alex Pereira badly in the second round. I was so shocked. I was speechless for a very long time. Very long time. Very long period of time. Adesanya gets his back. I already talked about the whole trilogy thing in my other video. If you want to see it, how my immediate reaction, I already went very in depth. I might even make another video about it. Pereira deserves the trilogy. He deserves the trilogy. Anybody disagreeing, please explain to me why. Cause I'm not seeing it, bro. It doesn't make sense to not give him it. Even Adesanya is trying to move away from it. Even Dana White is trying to move away from it. Everybody's kind of like, oh yeah, it's concluded. Adesanya. Oh, Pereira's gonna do so good at 205. He's gonna do incredible at 205. He's gonna be a 205 god. Okay, everybody gangsta until Pereira stays at middleweight. Then it's a problem. People are talking about giving. Okay, let me just put into perspective the 4 options we have right now. Right, we have, first of all, Robert Whittaker, who's 0-2 against Izzy, right? Robert Whittaker, phenomenal fighter. Excellent middleweight. Top 3 middleweight right now, for sure. Next best, next to Pereira and Adesanya, for sure. Maybe even be better than Alex Pereira. But he's 0-2 against Izzy, right? That's more losses than Pereira has to Izzy. Pereira also has more wins against Izzy. Not only in kickboxing. People want to talk about, kickboxing doesn't count. Well, UFC too. If you want to talk about UFC, then he has more wins in UFC as well. And less losses in UFC. So, that's Robert Whittaker where he's at right now. There's also talks of Khamzat Chimaev, who's not even ranked at middleweight, has never beaten anybody ranked at middleweight, and also has not fought at middleweight in God knows how long. He's never even fought for a title, right? Hasn't fought in a long time. His last win is against an unranked Kevin Holland, right? He's top 3 at welterweight, and he's calling out everybody under the sun, but knows that those fights won't actually happen. So he can, I could say oh yeah, I'll kick Yuri Prohaska's ass tomorrow. Respect to Yuri, I like Yuri, but I could say right now oh yeah, I would have beaten Yuri Prohaska if we fought right now. Oh yeah, I could beat Izzy right now. I'll just use my wrestling. I could say these things without with full knowledge that this fight's likely not gonna happen in the next couple of years, next few years, next 5 years. I could say this comfortably from the comfort of my home, saying I could be Izzy right now. I could be Izzy right now, knowing damn well I could be Yuri right now. I could say these things. I'll beat Yuri right now. I'll beat Jamal Hill right now. I could say these things damn well knowing that these fights aren't gonna happen. At least not in the near future, right? In the next few years, So for Chimaev to keep chirping out, I could be Yuri, I could be Adesanya, I could be Jamal Hill, I can be Pereira. Let me fight these guys with full knowledge of knowing that these fights aren't gonna happen. It doesn't make sense for me why he just keeps calling out these fights that he knows aren't gonna happen. Fight Colby Covington. Fight. He already fought Gilbert Burns. That's a very good win. Fight Bilal Muhammad even. Fight Shafkat. Fight any of these guys. Don't matter. Just fight one of these guys at the top. Fought Gilbert Burns at the top. That was a very good win there for sure. But I don't know, man. If you want a welterweight, I mean, if you want a middleweight title shot, if you want a light heavyweight title shot, then go up and fight them. You can't just keep talking and then not doing. You're a very skilled fighter. You have a very good chance at beating some of these guys. Just go for it. Just go for it. If you really can do it, then go for it. You can't be fast tracked to the title shots. You got to beat contenders first. You can't just immediately expect to get these title shots. But yeah, I like Chimaev as well. I'm a very big fan of him. I just don't understand why he just keeps doing this. I was talking about options. So those are your first two options, right? Your third option is Dricus du Plessis. Now, Dricus du Plessis, he's got a top 5 win. He's got a 2 top 10 wins, actually. At least at the time of beating them. He's got 3 ranked wins. But if we're talking about currently, he's got 1 top 10 current ranked win. And I don't know. You think he deserves a title shot? I don't think so. I think Adesanya will beat him pretty easily. He's not even top 5. He hasn't. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Nobody really wants to see that. And I think he'd have to be somebody else. Maybe a Jared Kennedy, maybe a Marvin Vettori, anybody else, to maybe even get close to deserving the title shot. There's also, you want to know, okay, so that's 3 options, right? Whitaker, who's 0-2 against Izzy. Phenomenal fighter, but 0-2 against Izzy. Khamzat Chimaev, another phenomenal fighter who just doesn't have the necessary credentials to fight Adesanya for the title right now. Dricus du Plessis, who I don't need to explain myself for that one. And then you have Alex Pereira, who still got, still 3-1 against Izzy in total, 2-1 against Izzy in finishes, 1-1 in cold knockouts, 1-1 in the UFC, 1-1 in title fights, 2-0 in glory title fights. Or no, I'm pretty sure it was 1-0 in glory title fights. Bro, what else is there to make? I don't want to see Adesanya. Oh, yeah, he's a problem at 205 for sure. Hell yeah, he's a problem at 205 because he don't got to cut that weight. He don't got to lose his chin, but 185. The trilogy has to be made, whether it's 185, 205, whatever. Knock him out again, whatever. At least the trilogy was made because that's what should happen next. I think if these two were to ever fight at 205, Pereira wins very, very easily. His chin won't be gone. He'll be much more comfortable. He'll be much more powerful. Adesanya won't be able to make that weight. We've seen before. It's very difficult for him to make 205. He came in very undersized against Jan Blachowicz as well. Lost to him, shorter fighter. Still a powerful fighter, but not the striker that Pereira is as well. Pereira Adesanya at 205, Pereira wins, clearly, in my book. At 185, if you make the trilogy at 185, I think this is Adesanya's chance to solidify himself. Just make the trilogy at 185 because there's still so many doubters. Just make the trilogy at 185. It's a much easier fight for him to win if he fights Pereira at 185 instead of at 205. Just one more time. One more time. Make the trilogy. 5 fights. Do it for legacy. Do it for everything. Pereira. Adesanya taunted Pereira's child. How is it going to resonate with Pereira? Trilogy needs to be made. I'm saying it right now. I had Pereira winning. by decision, unanimous decision. Didn't happen. I went 3 for 12 on my picks. Not good. Not good. That's what happens when you don't watch tape or research or put effort into your picks. Is what it is. Very good card, regardless. Also, I was gonna bring up my, my grading for this card, this event. Yeah, I got the picture up. I got everything here. Listen, UFC287 Pereira versus Adesanya 2. Entertainment-wise, out of 15, I'm going to give it a 13.5 out of 15. A lot of very good fights. Also, some fights that were kind of lackluster, weren't the most exciting. Also, the Ignacio Bahamondes fight wasn't very good either. So, just have to bring it down a little bit. 13.5 out of 5, I think is 13.5 out of 15. I think is pretty fair. Fight output, intensity, importance, rewatchability, and greatness. 9 out of 10. Easily. There's the Pereira Adesanya fight. That fight is great. The Gilbert Burns Masvidal fight had Masvidal retiring. There was the also the Chris Curtis Kelvin Gastelum fight, which is pretty good. Just a lot of good fights all around. Not a lot of blood from this card. Also, like if you look at the match, there's like not a drop of blood, but the fights themselves, everything about them was good. 9 out of 10, I think, is fair. Hype, I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. I think that's a pretty good. I think it's pretty safe to say. Hype. I mean, so many people came out to the Miami crowd to show up. So many fighters, so many celebrities, so many internet peoples, whatever. People online were talking about it. Everybody seems to be talking about this. I probably should have given it 4.5 out of 5, honestly. I think that probably would have been the better bet. But finishes out of 5, 4.5 out of 5. Every finish that happened on the card was incredible. Incredible, flashy, amazing, crazy. 4.5 out of 5 is fair. Name value, again, 4.5 out of 5. This card was stacked. Very, very stacked. Very, very, very stacked. 4.5 out of 5 is fair. Reception out of 4, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 4. I think it's pretty fair. There were some people saying some things about it. Some people didn't enjoy it. Some people were upset. Some people were not happy with some of the fights, some of the outcomes, whatever. 3 out of 4, I think is pretty fair. Moments, 3 out of 3. For sure, there was Adesanya's moment where, he got his back. Masvidal retiring was a moment. Rob Font getting his back was a pretty a good moment as well. Also, Kelvin Gastelum getting his back. That was a very amazing, amazing moment. Joe Piper's moment was good as well. I think moments, just 3 out of 3. Very fair to say that. Stakes as well. The stakes were there. Everything was on the line. The stakes for this fight was wild. The stakes for this fight, all the fights on the main card were crazy. Stakes for just all these fights, man, were absolutely insane. 3 out of 3 stakes for sure. Overall, that is a 44.5 out of 50, which gives this card an 89% grading. That's the highest rated card of the year so far, with a close second being, I'm pretty sure it was UFC285 that had 80 something. I forgot. It was anywhere between 83 and 87. I forget, but you guys can look back at the grading there. 89%, I think that's fair. Almost 90. Probably should have been 90%, honestly, but 89%, that's a very good grade. Even though a lot of the fighters that I wanted to win ended up losing, regardless, very good. It's just the card itself, amazing, incredible. And the next one, UFC 288, that's looking like a good one as well. Charles Jourdain should be on the Canada card. Maybe that's just me. Put Drew Doberman for Volo on the main card. I think it's not too late to do that. It's not too late to do that. But it is what it is. The next fight night with Holloway versus Arnold Allen. That's a very good one. That's a stacked fight night. That's a very stacked fight night, and it's in front of a crowd too. We haven't been in the Apex in so long, man. Just incredible stuff all around, and yeah, make the trilogy happen because people want to talk about Hamza. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, man. Either give Hamza the welterweight title shot, or give Hamza a main event against a top 5 middleweight, and then the title shot. But just give it time. Give it time, because right now the one to make is the trilogy: Pereira versus Adesanya 3, or Pereira versus Adesanya 5 for the entire saga, in my opinion.